Greetings, this is Frina Rimencha, Elven YouTuber. I welcome you to my reaction to the final episode of 2022 of Critical Role. Tonight, in addition, tonight's episode is the 43 of Campaign 3. This is part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, go look at pause this and go look at that now. Otherwise, let's get into it. I do not own, nor am I associated with Critical Role, the YouTube account, or any other server on my person. I'm just a fan sharing it on fellow fans.
As the rest of and welcome back. So, as the rest of you have stepped through this spontaneous, briefly appearing circle of magic upon the floor and found yourselves one by one transported to some place unknown. One by one, you all begin to emerge into a darkly lit, shaded cavern where there's some odd, challenging to make out sources of firelight. A tall, rocky ceiling rises above you with black, almost obsidian-like stone, volcanic porous rock above. You can see a number of black chains that hang from the ceiling to carry lanterns that lie still with no breeze.
Well, Carlson is not in this episode. He's unwell.
The air immediately
if you've seen
catches
part 1, you'll know I
kind
can
of
sympathize. It's why this
sulphurish
part, my reaction to this
scent,
is so late.
like charcoal and burnt matter. Turning. The non-stars version.
No. Stop it.
The air, the temperature here is also uncomfortably, not quite unbearably hot, but uncomfortably hot. And immediately as you inhale, as you take in your surroundings, you can feel your lungs kind of fill with the hot air and sting for a moment. You already feel like your body getting warm and sweat beginning to pool in some areas between your armor or clothing. And you can see in the middle of this, what you assume is a subterranean chamber, there is a slow drifting channel of molten rock that just kind of lazily sits and moves through the center. Kind of an orange glow that emanates from it on that side of the room. On the edges of this chamber, you can see gathered sections of tables, chairs, bits of furniture strewn about.
We are.
From last campaign?
Yes, we are.
Wait, was that Astani's place?
Yes, it was.
Planewalker.
Plane Rider Rin?
Oh,
Plane Rider Rin. Planewalker Rin.
That's who the girl is. That's who the female elf is.
Oh, that's totally fucking what it is.
Okay then.
Ashley's totally lost right now.
Hey, what's happening? I don't watch this show, so
It doesn't, we wouldn't know. Never mind. That's
no
metagame
idea.
Plane Rider Rin was a tiefling. Tiefling.
Oh, I thought it was a...
But it could be a disguise, but it still feels like that place. We could let Matt talk.
That was on the fire plane.
Yeah, it was on the
right?
fire
It was
plane.
a fire
elemental
plane.
plane of fire, and there was furniture in a cavern.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And like
Wait,
shelves.
shut up,
and it
shut
was
up.
like
You guys
highway. I'm sorry.
Knott's kid died?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
what they're
I was
referring to.
there. I was there.
That's what they're referring to, yeah.
That's
I was
what they're
there.
referring to. Well, we don't know.
Yeah. But standing in the middle of this chamber, kind of taking it in, you can see the two other figures that were fleeing from you before are standing about 30 or 40 feet from you across the chamber.
This is that place?
The half-elven woman is in the process of loading a heavy crossbow bolt into a large crossbow that she's picked off the wall, as the older male halfling is like, wait. see like sweat off his brow. You can see his kind of pronounced wide nose and like bushy chin beard that kind of gathers around the base of his kind of shoulder set head. You see his kind of button-up white shirt itself kind of open a bit, the collar itself a bit stained and now soaked through with sweat already as he puts his hand out.
We have a letter from Ro Estani. For you.
Hold on. If I might inquire as to who you are and what is your involvement with Ro.
Quick question. Am I invisible still
Yes.
after all that? Okay. And I can't drop it.
Yeah, I can drop it. I drop it. That's who was talking.
Here's the letter.
But no.
Here's the letter.
I mean, he can't walk any closer, can he?
Well, that was
You
the
know, it
skull.
was-
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so-
okay. Thank God.
We're Bell's Hells. We've come a very long way to find you.
You can see the half-elf woman now has finished loading the crossbow bolt and it's like picked it up and it's just kind of like trying to hold it up, but doesn't seem to give you the air of a trained soldier.
Do you need help with that?
Shh, I've got it.
We're seeking the aid of the Grim Verity.
So she drops it a bit and looks at him again. He looks back. Kind of opens and takes the letter out. You all quietly sit in that stillness, that cross-stared, reactionary position as he slowly reads through the letter. Folds it up and wipes his forehead on his sleeve. All right. Baron, I do put it down. It's all right. She slowly lowers the crossbow.
Well, it was unexpected to have visitors not as aggressive as expected, I suppose.
And then the crossbow bolt sticks into the rock and ricochets off. Ah!
Sorry.
Puts it down. You can now see she has these kind of thick bottle, bottle's glasses on the front of her face, with this like silver elven scrolling tattoos around the eyes. This like slacks and green blouse, and she just kind of stands there. This kind of twig of a woman, looks to be in about her 40s or so, and the halfling kind of rolls the sleeves up a bit and steps forward.
Well, I am Professor Ebenold Kai, as you seem to be inquiring about. And
Kind of holds a letter.
if you are indeed truthful in this, we could use friends in these extremely quickly closing times.
Those adjudicators in town, they were looking for y'all, weren't they?
I can only assume so, yes.
Were you the ones that took the...
I was not, but Dr. Barin, and looks back to her, and she now steps forward, and she sets the crossbow off to the side.
Yes, I'm one of them. There are three of us to begin with, actually.
To begin with.
Bell's Hells, you said.
Yes.
Is that a communal name? Are you all
Yeah,
known as Bell's Hells?
Yeah, we're together.
Who's your appointed leader?
Fern.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm still invisible.
Yeah, there's not even acknowledged you yet.
My name is Dr. Baron Vestisho.
Baryn. Baron.
A-R-Y-N?
Best to show.
Vestisho.
I am a doctor of Exandrian history out of Althansia, specializing in research on the founding and the schism in our most ancient of histories. Me and two compatriots had, in recent years, discovered a unique series of... a trail, if you will, leading to some secret texts that have led us, unfortunately, in the crosshairs of some of the more dangerous and powerful entities in Vasselheim. So, yes, I do believe these adjudicators are here because of us, looking for us.
Boy, it's hard to know even where to begin. Where are we?
Oh, looks over back towards the halfling.
We are currently in the abode of a compatriot of ours who has been extremely helpful and an ally to the Green Variety for some time.
And you all kind of watch as he kind of points past you, and as you all emerged and are looking towards them, you kind of glance over your shoulder, and you kind of, in your fear and intensity, didn't take a moment to focus and notice there was a third figure in the room behind you. And as you turn, you immediately see a female tiefling. Looks to be in older 50s, like a deep, deep ruby red skin color with this kind of like white, almost sky blue piercing eyes with just a single black pupil dot in each. These horns that curl back and up, and almost like these two large pointed horns about that size to the back of the head, and this very, very short black hair that's cut just at the base of the skull with these like gray streaks that kind of comb down in two parts. She stands there in like what looks to be a combination of robes and some leather armor, and is just holding a particularly crooked-looking wand in your direction. Indeed, you have come to my abode, uninvited, but seem to have some sort of business with some of my friends, so consider yourself at the moment not burned to a crisp.
Apologies for the intrusion.
Accepted so far.
You live here? In this lava place?
It's one of my chosen places of research that I occasionally sleep in, so yes.
Okay. Well, it's very nice. I mean, it's warm.
Thank you. I'm Rin. Who are you, and why are you here?
We're Bell's Hells.
Right.
Came to find Professor Kai, and we've been on a search of sorts as well, following a trail much like you and your friends have, that has led us to some real spooky stuff about the moon.
You kind of exchange some glances. I do apologize if I don't seem extremely eager and gracious at the sudden arrival of individuals that are unfamiliar, yet band about with bits of information that would easily get them and us killed. As a precaution, and please do understand, kind of holding the wand out, they kind of reach their hand out, and as they begin to tug their finger into the air, you watch as from the lava on the front of the chamber, a flaming entity comprised of lava and flame begins to emerge from the center of the room and kind of stands there and just looms, crackling. So,
What's their name?
oh,
Do they have a name?
this is Niles.
Niles!
Niles will destroy you if you make any fast movements.
Okay.
We're outside the city now.
Oh, yeah, we're in the elemental plane of fire. My apologies. I should have been specific here. But ways far from where I think you might have been before.
Right.
Yes. As Orem and I'm sure Imogen, that's Imogen, by the way, and that's Orem, will probably tell you.
There we go. Real names. Real names.
Bell's Hells is also a real name.
Right, but I can't refer to each and every one of you as Bell's Hells, Bell's Hells, Bell's Hells. That just feels a bit strange. It's a bit weird to me. I don't do well with organizational overarching titles. It's just a bit presumptuous.
We thought that would be easier. Anyway, I'm sure that they will tell you. We've had quite a few encounters with Ruidus and those who affiliate with it. And this goes all the way back to Balan and Zahar Loomis, the Loomis twins. And following the trail that they left behind. I see on your face I struck a chord, didn't I?
I struggle up.
As this figurine kind of glances over with a somewhat furrowed brow to the others, you see Ebenold kind of like places a hand to his chest.
Oh, apologies. Didn't mean to be insensitive.
They were too young to have been caught in the crossfire of our research. They were very bright and very intelligent, with a vibrant future ahead of them until we pulled them into this. So, understand there is some hard emotions.
We know they're not the only ones, too. Anyone poking around too much. The subject of Ruidus.
And why are you poking around? Is this worth the risk to you? Even you coming here, who are you doing this for?
Well, several reasons, actually, but we've recently discovered that I was Ruidus born, and my mother was very much affected, as am I, and recently more and more powers have been emerging, and more and more dreams have been happening, and I know this all sounds...
Ebenold's eyes are going wide, and he kind of looks back towards Dr. Baron and says,
Is she an exultant?
I don't know what that is.
Dr. Baron kind of steps forward.
In our research, there have been certain Ruidus born who exhibit a particularly strong connection to the entity in the sky, and begin to, well, as you describe, exhibit certain capabilities, if I believe so. This is a bit beyond my personal purview.
I showed him my arms.
Yeah, Ebenold steps forward and...
This is very much like some of the others. Yes.
Liliana Temold.
There's a look of recognition on Ebenold's face.
You knew her?
I did.
You know her?
So you kind of like now, more than ever, like taking in your features, and there's like...
And I assume you are her daughter. This makes a lot more sense now. Irene, keep Nars around, but there is no need for this much alarm for now. Very well. I suppose welcome to my home. And, well, please do continue to discuss amongst yourselves. I'm curious to hear.
Do we have any, like, housewarming gives? I don't...
Try to
I have all these leaves gave me.
I could try to cook something real quick.
I have a taste of Taldori tankard.
Oh, okay, that's something. That's a good, because if they collect. The truth is, we all have questions, not just Imogen. I mean, Imogen's are the most
No, yeah, obviously
related.
it's not just
and-
about...
No, but
temporary
we're
switch
all
spots
have questions.
Just get my back
and,
right.
Many of those questions have led here, and boy, it would be great to just get as many answers as we could, and also help you. You said that you said there was 3 of you. Is the 3 of you in this room, or is there someone else as well?
At this point, Ebenold goes,
No, there are many members of the Verity.
Oh.
Across Exandria, some who we've lost. But me and my compatriots here in the city have been helming the development of the Omen Archive for quite some time. This is where we encountered Liliana and others of the same like over the years on our research. However, Rin, Plane Rider, Rin actually is my full title here. I've seen quite many strange things, but what they're talking about is quite strange, quite fascinating, but quite strange. Well, we have been compatriots for some time, and Rin has become more or less a member of the Grim Verity out of necessity in recent years, as our interests have overlapped. Dr. Berlin, however, and leans back, and Dr. Berlin goes, me and my compatriots, this, pertaining to Rude, is we have uncovered some upsetting inconsistencies in historical presentation. Please do understand, if in telling you these things, you very much fasten yourselves to our fates as well, whatever dark path it might go. So I
dug pretty deep.
Yeah, we've had several run-ins with Odahan Thule already.
Right.
She killed me. Very, very intense.
Right. Everyone goes, well, the fact that you endured to come here says much of your capabilities. This does aid our fortune somewhat, I hope. Sorry about the rude encounter in my basement. I was uncertain who is...
No, I mean, we were breaking into your house.
Pretty understandable.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dr. Bergen. Well, we discovered some inconsistencies, and we spent years orchestrating a way to network and locate these texts on the sly. They were under such heavy guard, we knew that there was something more to them, more important. That even the highest of high bearers, the highest of clerics, would not just disavow their knowledge of their existence, but would push us away at every turn, denying any such thing. One of my compatriots, Arnold Drott, was taken during the escape when we found and absconded with these texts, and is likely still in the sanctuary's hands. My other compatriot, Janina, came with me to find and work with the Grim Verity, which Janina was already a member, and was our entry point to their troop. Janina is currently off-site trying to gain information about the Nexus site to the north of the city. But hoping that we had avoided the trail, and for some time seemed to have managed to have done so, had kept us on the up and up. But in recent months there was a dust-up in Oncarel with adjudicators arriving and searching for us. That spread to Bassaris, and one of our compatriots, Hondia, apparently recently had his home destroyed. Most of our members had to scatter and keep running. Oh, a number of weeks back.
Oh, all right. Right.
So most of us are scattered about just for our own individual safety. And we've kind of been jumping between Rin's abode here and trying to contact and work as we can between there and Evernold's basement and whereverabouts Rin is willing to take us. Rin goes, yes, you know, it's... The wonderful thing about magic is eventually you become everyone's transportation device. But no, really, I don't mind. This is really fun. It's quite enjoyable and a very strange, very intriguing series of mysteries, which keeps me embroiled and less frustrated.
What brought you to this all, Plane Rider, if you don't mind me asking?
Well,
my research generally focuses around all things odd and astronomical. Interplanar oddness, inconsistencies in the way that different realities align, overlap, tear into each other, and pull apart. And even just beyond the outer boundaries of Exandria and beyond. It's kind of where some of us met in our various astronomical aspirations and philosophical debates. Anyway, I've discovered some strange inconsistencies in the way that the energies have been moving, the ley lines, the magical powers that guide the patterns of energies across Exandria and through the different realms that overlap. And this movement seemed to be incorporating with bursts of energy that over time the patterns seemed to coincide with these recurring flares of the moon.
Yeah.
So when I began to ask
across
around
the
for
road
specialists
itself.
from Ruidus, eventually I was, through my contacts and allied compatriots on the higher ends of education, sent me to find those who were working on the Omen Archive. And thus I met Evanold here, and that's where I came to be here. Also, had found some strange abnormalities between the realms in proximity to Exandria. The Fey realm being one, and the Shadowfell, the other.
What's that?
Constructions. Things being built. There are, and I don't mean to alarm you, there are forces at work here that are delving into the coming apex of these powers, these energies. To what specific means, we only have our thoughts and possible ideas. But, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Give us 50 more.
Can I turn back to Berlin, Baron?
To Berlin? You go back to Berlin.
You read the texts that you stole?
Yes, we've all studied them extensively here. We think it might be a very important key to what these other individuals are working towards.
Did they say anything about a city
Nothing about a city.
on Ruidus?
No.
Oh. Guess we have some new information for you.
So you think your information is that there's powerful forces at work to try to focus and hone some sort of energies to the apex, to the apogee solstice?
They're a bit learned, aren't they? Love it, love it. Okay, I apologize for talking down to you.
No,
I'm just used to having to. But yes, the apogee solstice. Usually, I've been so excited for some time for it to come, but it's getting complicated. Yes. There are these. How familiar are you with the Cerberus Assembly?
Oh, one or two of us have heard of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the...
We
Part of
stole
the-
some stuff from them by accident. Purposely, by accident.
From Odahan. Okay.
They kind of run Wildmount.
Yeah. And they're working with Odahan Thul.
And
Indeed
also
they
this, I mean, he's kind of attractive person named the Nightmare King.
They all look a bit befuddled by that. Not quite sure what that means.
Ira?
Ira.
Glass.
Rin kind of like gives a coy smile and goes,
Windigoth. That's right.
I think I know who you're talking about. By reputation, not personal interaction. But they're woven into this as well. That's interesting.
Apparently, yes.
For their own
it's-
games.
Exactly. More of a hired hand helping with
She goes ahead and like gestures with her finger, and a nearby chair kind of like scoots over, flips around, and she sits in it with
tables are alive.
with the back of the chair kind of facing her. As Plain Rider Ren kind of rests her arms over the top, the giant horns kind of curled up from behind. She goes, "Do go on."
Oh, well, that fella was helping some other folks make a device to see into the sky to see Ruidus.
So you've seen these devices as well.
Oh, you've seen it or one or
I've seen 2 of them.
Well, we actually have been to Hondir's hideout in Bassaris.
Technically, that's a 3rd one.
Oh. And then there was one in the towers in Drusar that we kind of saw for like a minute before the whole thing exploded.
Right.
Which
but
wasn't our fault.
the one in Bassaris we saw with that
The glass.
with the glass from the
Lens, which
Feywild.
we have,
Wait a minute.
but we broke,
but we mended it.
but it
But it
doesn't
doesn't
work.
work anymore.
Anyway, we had the special magical glass that helped go into this device that let them see up to Ruidus, and you guys looked through and saw
And
a
we saw a
city.
Yes, more
And
of that, please.
a woven net of magic.
It was holding something in or keeping something out.
One or the other. That would be divine lattice work. Okay, all right. I'm pleased that we didn't find ourselves completely impeded by dullards. This is delightful. All right.
Oh, by chance, that text that you've read from Vasselheim.
I won't take that away, please, Dr. Baron. Dr. Baron goes, yes, of course. So within these tomes, some of the oldest that exist on Exandria, if not the oldest books on record. First off, they speak of two deities that have been forgotten by history, that existed in the Pantheon long ago. One is referred to as Etherdoc,
Oh, we got names.
the Endless Shadow.
Oh my god, we got names.
I'm spelling that wrong.
Ethedok.
Endless
E.D.
shadow.
The Endless Shadow. And Voldo, the Fate Shaper.
The Fate Shaper?
With an A or an O.
Voldo.
Voldo.
Vordo.
Oh, Vordo.
2 for 2.
Vordo the, what was it again? I'm
The
sorry.
Fate
again?
Shaper.
Fate Shaper.
Etherdoc oversaw the certain gods have different focuses, different realms that they put their will over and guide and shape within all of Exandria's unique weave of power and influence. Etherdoc was the god of darkness and winter, and Voldo was the god of fate and order. Now that was already disconcerting enough, but this historical text also
To be forgotten.
gave proof that Ruidus didn't exist for a time. And it's not that it didn't just not exist, but it was created by the gods. The texts speak of an era during the founding where the gods showed fear. Something from beyond the stars that they recognized arrived here. And they called it Predathos.
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 This
Lord, to use
Predathos resisted their miracles and hunted them,
Oh, fuck.
spawning its own twisted life in its wake as it did.
Wait, Predathos was one entity or was it several?
As far as the texts go, I have no confirmation.
Yes.
But it is said that it devoured Etherdoc. And then Voldo.
Fate and order.
God Eater?
It just not just took a god, but one who had.
The texts then speak of an accord between the gods and the primordial titans to carve a prison from Exandria itself to seal away Predathos and send it away into endless darkness above. It seems the prison, however, clung to our world and hung in the sky. There's a new moon. Our theory is that in attempting to erase this known history surrounding this prison with an air of superstition and cursed tidings, it would dodge enough interest to ever really become a danger again. That has worked for eons to their credit. However, I would be inclined to let this sit, if it means the safety of all, if it weren't for this growing rise in ruidus flare activity that they've been studying. It leads me to believe that something is about to happen. Attempts to bring this to the attention of the High Bearers and the top clerics and priests, whatever they call themselves, have been met with extreme prejudice, denial, and now moves to silence us. They fear what we know almost as much as they fear losing the faith of their followers, their societies. So, this is what we know, and this is what you now know as well. Congratulations. You're tethered to cursed knowledge with us.
What all do you know about Thule?
Not more than what I've been told by the Verity. And Ebenold kind of steps forward a bit, sits onto the ground.
Thule is an extremely dangerous soldier.
Which, if you've encountered them in the ways that you said, you would know firsthand.
In Class of D&D lore, it said there...
What I do understand is that
There's
they
something in
were once
there
an extremely
there was something the god spirit.
pious entity. When they were at the height of their time as a soldier, they continuously spoke as they walked in the path of the matron, the Dusk Maven. And when the war finished, from what we've come to try and learn, it seems she may have lost her faith.
Or found a new one.
Perhaps. But what a soldier of her background wants with this sort of business is as confuddling as it is worrying. She's one who we've come to believe is, like you, an exultant, a scion. And we think that as she's come into her powers, she's also been embracing these dreams, been embracing this pull to the Red Moon. They're all gathering, the Rue d'Espawn.
That's who I've seen. She's built an army.
Yep. Okay.
From all over Alexandria. Many don't know why, but they spend their life savings to charter ships. They're all coming here. They've been for months.
Here, meaning Eos or just this continent? Or
Marquette.
to join with Thule specifically, or just join together with each other?
I don't know specifically. But from our research through the Omen archive for quite some time, these dreams, these portents, we can only assume with this recent information that was been acquired that there is something, this Predathos is creating angers to this world in forms of you.
Forms of what?
You.
So my powers come from that entity.
We have no confirmation 100%, but we have long theorized whatever
Whatever is behind the Moonaville omen is also behind these latent capabilities that you and Liliana and Rotahan exhibit. While not every Rudisborn does become exultant, those that do have seemingly been drawn to this place, this valley to the north. And they're all coming in droves now.
To the Hellcatch?
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Do you know where my mother is?
I assume she's there. She was at...
She's working with Phil.
She was an incredible subject when we were creating and forming the archive. She was our first true studyable example of an exultant. We were able to conduct so many experiments with her. She was a forthright volunteer. She grew frustrated with our inability to give the answers she sought. And Wotan found her, as did the assembly. And I think her personal need for answers overrode her judgment. I'm sorry.
It's making more sense now.
Thule and her army and her friends in the assembly and the Unseelie court have spilled a lot of blood as they work towards whatever it is they're working toward. We're all personally invested without really having much of a big picture here. What are you three intending to do?
Well, I'm a professor, and she is a doctor. But she, and they point to Plane Rider Rin, goes, I'm a doer. I make things happen. I make things get weird. So, with their knowledge, their trust, some friends, I think we want to make things weird for these people. For your mom, sorry. Sodahan, whatever they're doing out there, trying to free Predathos, control Predathos, destroy Predathos, whatever it is, I don't like it. I don't trust it. I kind of want to stop it. How about you all?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think whatever it is, it does not bode well for a lot of people who we care about. And so, yeah, the seven of us definitely want to help.
There's someone that's not here.
I was trying to do the math
A friend
on
of
that
ours
one.
got left in EOS. Are we going to be going back to EOS?
Another friend of ours is close also, but not super close. Maybe. I don't really know what to say about him.
Rin just looks right over and goes, that one?
Oh, okay, you can see him.
Oh, it's so hard to find you. Hello, Plane Rider.
Oh, were you searching for a while?
Yes, I'm Plane Walker Chetney. I used to ride, but not at this age.
You have a plane walker?
It's just a plain old walker.
Hell of a spot you picked here with all the lava and stuff.
You could see him the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to see what he would do.
What was he doing?
And he's just touching himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, so I have a question. So you said Imogen's mom, she was one of your first subjects that you would study?
Well, we studied many Rue de Spawn over the years as we began to notice this increasing frequency of flares. Like, we knew, studying its mysteries for quite some time. Many have over the years, but it wasn't until this past decade or so that the Rue de Spawn number began to increase almost exponentially. It was a very rare thing for a very long time. And then in just the past 5 years, we've catalogued nearly 200.
Oh, hell.
And that's just the ones that came to us. Or the ones we sought out from rumors and hearsay. And Liliana was the first to show these advanced properties.
Well, I think Imogen has some pretty advanced properties because she kind of blew out a whole block of buildings and things.
Is that so?
So
Ryder's like, oh.
I wasn't fully aware of it.
But that's the thing. Do you know how to make her aware of it? Have you guys been studying these types of things to sort of hone in on it?
This is a little out of my purview. How about you, doctor, professor? And all goes, we can try. We can work on it a bit. We don't have a terribly large amount of time with the solstice mounting, but if we feel this is, if you indeed exhibit similar capabilities to your mother, it might be worth attempting to hone it a bit.
I blew out a city by myself. A block decimated.
Intentionally?
No.
No.
See, that is what makes it dangerous.
No, I fully understand that. They've got an entire army of that.
No, entirely.
Are you sure it wasn't intentional?
I didn't. It just happened, Fern. After Laudna, it just happened.
Well, the good news is what you're capable of is extremely rare. I do not think they have an army. If they did, the Grinverity would not have been able to do most of what it's been capable of doing within the past year or two. Maybe I can go through my notes when I worked with your mother and we can run some exercises. I don't know. I don't train people to do mind things. Rin, it's like, we can probably have some discussion. We can set up some practice dummies. I don't.
All right.
I got some ideas.
Are any of you affected by the moon?
Oh no! Oh no!
No. I'm just like you. I'm not unique enough to have been touched by the red moon. But I have some skills of my own that I think will get me along just fine.
No, I can tell.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm catching up now. So, Redathos, you said ate Ethodoc and Vordo. Would it be fair to say that Ethodoc, being the endless shadow, darkness, and winter, that's a kind of a negative connotation? Would they be more of the betrayer god aligned, and Vordo was one of the more prime deities?
Dr. Baring goes, that is an astute observation. We have no confirmation. In these earlier stages, especially during the earliest founding, there was less of a division. The schism really helped define that divide. And even amongst that divide, it is not a binary. It is a very messy network of winning philosophies and losing philosophies, really. But at this time, they all just kind of work together. But imagine something that the gods feared so much.
Oh yeah, no, it's all fucking terrible. I'm just trying to think of the 50-50 split, or if it's leaning one way more than the other.
But you said Predathos ate them, right? They're
Consumed them.
The translations of the text, that's the closest we have, yes.
And you also said that piece of Exandria was taken and used to make this prison up there?
That's the city.
Well, that could be the whole thing, but like, what
Thank you.
piece of Exandria? Like, did they take? Like, imagine Exandria is like a pie. Like, which part of the pie did they break off?
Unfortunately,
I don't know about that.
there isn't any specifics to it, but
A flat pie.
Yeah. yeah, but like, so they had to take a piece of the pie and put it up there. Like, we don't know from whence.
the texts are extremely early and do not go into detail. The best that we've surmised is that perhaps there was a continent that no longer is, that is now what makes up the moon.
And what about
Wow.
this city? Do you have any idea
No,
why it's there? Who lives in it?
Well, best we can understand. Ebenold, do you have any? And Ebenold's, you can see he's like sitting there thinking. Goes, to be entirely honest, the idea of this city is new information to us. But there are some notes here that say that as Predathos went about its hunting, that it left some forms of twisted life in its wake. Perhaps it's continued to do so within its prison.
Oh, fuck.
It made life forms.
Left twisted life in his wake.
Wow.
That's all the text said. Twisted life.
That is the translation.
Predathos is a super cool name. Don't get me wrong. Did the text mention any like other names that he goes by,
No, that was the
or
only one.
it goes by? They go by?
The hungry one.
Yeah.
The
Something a little catchier,
all-consuming.
snappier,
The
easier to say.
void of
Like the tagline.
darkness.
No, it was the only text that even refers to it.
It's just Predathos.
Yes.
Okay.
So where
Maybe we could give him some
Datho?
names.
I don't know. It's just something.
where
up,
where
Dobby?
did this Predathos come from? Just
Presumably wherever the rest of the
Elsewhere.
gods came from. Or somewhere beyond that even.
But he wasn't considered a god. He was some other older being.
Entity.
Yes.
The deities came here and founded Exandria, and with the primordial titans built what it was to be before they themselves fought over its dominion. But the gods founded from their perspective, from elsewhere, where that is founded.
Founded.
We all can have our own philosophical debates on what came before that, where they came from.
And this is pre-calamity, mid-calamity?
This is far before the calamity. This is the beginning of history.
Something else you mentioned that I find fascinating is, Ren, you said that there were weird inconsistencies happening with the Fey Realm and the Shadow Fell.
Yes. So these assembly folks, them and Odahan, they've been building matching devices, both in the Shadowfell and the Fey Realm, at the same exact place where the planes overlap to this nexus.
Oh.
been doing it in the Fey realm as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be the
one that-
the thing
Right.
that your mom and dad
Sorting.
The Sealy Court.
Well, you said that there
Unsealy.
were 3 of these. So there's the
Shadowfell, Fey Realm,
Shadowfell,
and
Fey
the
Realm,
one
and
we
those
saw.
yours.
And the Shadowfell is a place like this, like the Slava place where we are, but elsewhere?
Kind of. If the Fey realm is kind of a weird, dreamy, kind of nightmare nature veil over Exandria that mirrors it in some ways, but is also its own unique, improvised interpretation of the world that you know and love. The Shadowfell is very much the same thing, but if it was like much darker and gothic and kind of hated life in itself. Not a fun place.
Horrible.
Don't recommend it. But those are the 2 planes that are closest. They kind of sandwich right around Exandria.
Like up in like Alexandria and there.
Yeah, pastels.
It's
and then
more of a
charcoal.
round, yeah,
So like a burger.
it, well, yeah. So, the site in question, the one that we're talking about, the one that everyone's walking towards. It's north of Eos.
Okay, because all right, I'm just trying to like work it all out. We saw the one that Hotis, wait, what's his name? Hondir. Thank you. I'm just too many campaigns.
Yeah, I know.
We saw the one that Hondir made, his little fancy telescope. And super sexy Nightmare King guy was helping him. And Nightmare King was also making the one in the Fey realm that Fern's parents over here saw and then stole from, and it was a big deal. And then the other thing that I'm just trying to wrap my head around is Odahan and her army are traveling around dropping in and out of shadows and materializing as dark figures, and then
Killing
they
people
just
and then disappear.
and then they just dematerialize. So I just don't know if maybe they're there for
Going-
a second. I was like,
and then go into this
shadow realm to
place.
maybe bamf in and out and quick transport by jumping realms. Does that make sense?
I mean, it can make sense. It's an interesting theory. It's not impossible. I mean, there are...
Spitballing here.
How hard is it to jump planes?
Not hard.
For some, maybe.
Plane Rider chat.
I
Planes.
generally have made a habit of it. There's a few shortcuts here and there if you know where to walk. But not terribly easy for the common man. Even the uncommon man. In fact, it's universally considered to be fairly challenging to do.
Yeah.
But
Also, is there anything... I'm sorry. This is partially Marisha working it out. But is there anything to be said, that, this Predathos... He ate the Endless Shadow and the Fate Shaper, a god person. Did they didn't those pillars still exist? Did they get sucked into Predathos, or is they just gone now? Are those gods are just gone.
your guess is as good as ours.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mind you, Darkness, Winter, Fate, Order, those were kind of then disseminated amongst the existing gods. The Matron of Raven is, currently the goddess of Fate and Winter, so they kind of got scattered around a bit with the absence of previous entities. But who knows what happened? Maybe they're all still out there. Maybe they're still being digested. Maybe they're still screaming in their stomach. I don't know.
Can I jump out of the narrative for a second? And the when this prison or whatever it is was created was back closer to the founding. It was pre-divergence, pre-calamity, correct?
Oh yeah,
Way before.
This tome is some of the earliest texts that ever existed in history
Right.
of Alexandria.
Right. So way before whoever the human woman is who offed or did something to the previous god of death.
Yes,
way before that.
Oh yeah, the whoever became the matron of ravens was not terribly long before the calamity kicked off.
Right.
Right.
That's part of the deal. Okay.
So, the site in the north of Eos. It's kind of been an interesting point in my research. To no one surprise, it happens to overlap with an excavation research site that was commandeered by the Cerberus Assembly not but 3 months ago. So, this site I've myself been studying. It's an excavation site of a ruin that has been reclaimed by the dusts of the valley. From what I could gather, it was a focus site for a solstice many centuries ago. It helps my theory that ley lines actually shift over eons in a slow but cyclical pattern, meaning as they move, it's not randomized. There is an actual cycle to how these things move. Very slow. Very expanded period of time. But this is a theory I've had for a long time, and it was very exciting to find some ways to find proof of this. Now, mind you,
Jeff Goldblum.
so the focus, when I say that, I mean it was constructed to be like a lightning rod of sorts, like a once before when it was a nexus as well. It could be a channeling point for this solstice energy. It seems to have ties to the long dead pre-Arcanum Tishtan culture, which is not much known about them. They were once kind of a nomadic, magic-obsessed society that traveled across Exandria during the time of the Schism, building small monuments and ritual sites for purposes that we're still trying to figure out. Not a whole lot of information about them, but it's really interesting. They mysteriously vanished with a little record kept, and I mean, why wouldn't you want to study that? That's great. That's what puts you in school. That's what puts you through school. That's what makes good books. You write good reports and get awards for that kind of stuff. But anyway, this site's been one excavation point by the seminary for the better part of the past 5 years. And then spontaneously, about 3 months ago, the assembly showed up and began to, how did you put it? And then Evanold goes, they bullied their way into our studies. A deal was struck with the leadership of the assembly, the leadership of the seminary and the assembly. Given the recent rumblings of the Stratos tensions, wishing not to get on the bad side of a foreign power on that scale of influence and capability, the court of the Lambent Path and the seminary agreed to allow the assembly to oversee the excavation site as a loose partnership. But it seems now the assembly has slowly taken hold over the majority of the operation and barring much of the seminary members from directly delving at the site in recent weeks. That is where Janina has gone to investigate as well.
Got it. The other person that went to get the tomes. So, that's around the same time that you left the seminary, I'm assuming.
The only one of us that's still currently working there is kind of takes a moment to think over it and kind of glance over who.
Kadisha Dumont.
Indeed. One of our other Omen Archive compatriots. The rest of us decided to go into hiding for our own safety.
And she's just there?
She's the least publicly connected to our troop. And it is best that we have at least one public-facing individual that can keep an ear to the ground when we cannot. So, that is what she is doing.
But she's not Grim Verity.
She is.
She is, but secretly.
Most of us are secretly of Grim Verity, but she's been the most research-driven publicly over time and the least involved in these sort of goings-on. We keep her at arm's length intentionally for her own safety. You know, this is a lot of information to take in.
Yeah.
What do you wish to do?
Stop them.
You know exactly where they're gathering, or is it just the Hellcatch Valley? Like, because we were told there was a few different possible places. The Panagrip Sands, the ocean north of the Odiran Wilds, the Hellcatch Valley. Do you know exactly where they're gathering?
We know where this site is, yes.
But it's only one of 3 sites. It's the only one on this plane.
It is. They overlap each other in the exact spot.
And we don't have an army.
No.
We're just Bell's Hells plus you and some other professors.
And a plane rider and a plane walker.
True.
Plane rider kind of leans back in the chair a bit, kind of holding onto the front. I have a few friends that I can call in to maybe help once I give them the lowdown of some of the bad things that are happening. If you have any compatriots or anyone you want to call in favors on, things are getting a little hairy here in the next few weeks, so, you know, now's the time to call in a favor if you got one.
But is it just going to be, like, we don't even know who we're dealing with. It's Odahan, her followers.
It's a lot. I
The
saw-
Nightmare King. You saw numbers?
I mean, I saw.
If you went with an army, it's going to cause a stir. So don't go in with an army. And Mel goes, after all, you've gotten this far as a small group. If we have a number of small groups going in individually, that gives us opportunities to distract from each other. That gives us opportunities to infiltrate, maybe, to try and get in unseen, unnoticed, in a full-on assault, especially with the assembly possibly at the core of this. I fear that will end very poorly.
Yeah, plus we have somebody on the inside we can take advantage of.
Who?
My mom. I can try. Every time I've tried to reach out, she's shut me down.
Well, wasn't Odahan trying to get you to join as well?
Yeah.
Double agent.
You could, but that's super dangerous, and you're already a fragile soul.
But she's very
No,
capable.
no. I know she can, but I mean, she's got. I'm talking about her emotional health.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I know I cry a lot. Look, I know.
She goes to sleep every night crying, but
But
it's okay.
yeah, but it's fine because you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm strong. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Of course, you're a strong
You're
independent
a
woman.
survivor.
Yes.
But
You're
you
not
also
a
have to.
giver.
You're strongest when you're with us, and if you're not, then I would just be worried about you. Is all.
Well, I think when we got started with all this, we had a lot of personal stakes. A lot of good people were dying for no good reason, and now we all know this is a lot bigger than that, even.
When you talk about these infiltrations, do you mean Fey Realm and Shadowfell to where these machines are? Is that what you're referring to?
I am whatever makes sense for the plan. I'm a researcher.
As if they're just building these telescopes and
Well, I don't think they're telescopes. That's the big question: is what do the machines
what are
do?
they?
Are they going to pull it down, break it apart, send it up, send them to the moon? What's it do?
Because we can't fight an army, we can't. But we can maybe sabotage whatever those are.
Fellow Rider Rin, you've seen these machines. Do you know or have any idea what they do? Are they a transport, a weapon, a device to push or pull?
I haven't gotten a close look. It's been a bit well guarded, but from a distance, when I can tell, they definitely have some unique planar projector or tether aspect to it I can't quite point out. I don't know if they're trying to punch through the realms, trying to fold them together, or if they're trying to, like you said, pull it down, destroy it, break it open. It could be all sorts of things. It's the kind of thing that, well, if we had somebody on the inside or somebody we could interrogate properly, we could pull from within, that would be some fine information to have, don't you think?
It would, and I think we know that the Unseelie Court is in the Fey realm, and they're all twisted up in one of those machines. The Cerberus Assembly is fucking around in our realm. But the Shadowfell, do you know who's messing about in that place?
Not a whole lot of organized social contracts to be written in the Shadowfell. Best that I can tell is that the Assembly has built a little more... You watch as she smiles a bit. Ramshackle, less well-guarded portion of their plan.
Ooh, that might be our point of
The first
attack.
You asked what we were going to do. We know they're going to do something soon. We know that it's going to be big, and we know that it's going to be bad. This was personal before, but we got to figure it out now.
We gotta get there.
We're starting with this dimension?
Well,
The ramshackled one?
if the Cerberus Assembly, just my take, if they have their hands on 2 of the 3 machines, and if you want to push on your mom, that might help us get to the Shadowfell or attack at least one point of the 3, weaken one of the 3 legs. In this realm, I think those odds are a little more against us.
What about the Fey realm?
I don't know. Well, yeah.
Don't you
we
have
could
some
always
powerful
ask
entities that can help us there?
I mean, we could always ask my Nana, my grandmother, who's not my grandma. I don't know. She's my grandmother. She raised me. I love her. We could ask her for help for sure. She's pretty strong.
Are you tight with the Unseelie Court or no? Aren't you like a princess?
I mean, sure. I that's what my grandmother always called me, so.
Just your grandmother?
Yes.
Hmm?
So, but I mean, I think we could probably ask her for some help. Her name's Maury, and she kind of deals with fate a little bit. I think they call her the Fate Stitcher, something like that.
The Fate Stitcher? Wait, wow, is that the DM laughing or the character?
No, that's Rin. That's Rin Levick.
You've heard of the Fate Stitcher?
Indeed. I've heard a few of these names you've mentioned. You are a motley, tangled mess. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Care to share what the chuckles are about?
I know, I can't.
Yeah, now that you know that we've got a tie to the Fate Stitcher, what's the first point of attack? The Cerberus Assembly and their ramshackle setup, or?
I mean, the choice is yours. It seems, from what I can tell, and Janina's in the process of getting this, and looks back to the other two, Janina's in the process of getting the most recent intel, but whatever they're doing, it seems that the Exandrian ruins here is the central focus, since that's where the research site's lightning rod-like focus is originally built. The other two ones are just supplementary, whether to make it stronger, to pull it between all realms. There's a lot of possibilities here. Now, whichever one you have stronger ties to, the Shadowfell is definitely a dangerous and less welcoming realm than the Fey realm, but it also is the least guarded for that reason. Fey realm probably has a little more protection, especially with the Unseelie's involvement with the Assembly in keeping it down. But if you indeed are a connoisseur of the Fey and an ally to the Fate Stitcher, then I'm sure you could come up with some fun, strange things there.
Who's the Fate Stitcher? I mean, is she a professional wrestler? What's with this name?
She's a guardian of one of the Fanes on that side of the Fey realm.
What's a Fane?
A Fane is a place of power. There are many hearts to the land. She's a keeper of one of them.
Keeper of one of the hearts of the land.
Okay.
Fine, is this news to you?
It means
Inside check.
Fine, is this news to you?
Inside check.
You can make a persuasion or deception, your choice, and then just tell me the number.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 15.
15.
1.
So she beat.
Standoff.
It's kind of a rollies again. Rollies.
This Rollies brought to you by D&D Beyond. Unnecessary trips to the crowded post office. Get your friends' books immediately at dndbeyond.link/crshop. 15 again.
4. Or, well,
No, it's just
it's just straight up rolling.
Oh, well then that was a 9.
Okay, you still beat me.
Okay.
It's a little bit of news to me.
Hold on a little bit.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, spill your pouch.
Well,
Your marsupial pouch.
I forgot about that. I kind of only was in like a just like an area, you know. I kind of stayed in my area with my grandmother, so there's a lot of the Fey realm that I still don't haven't fully gotten to visit yet, but my
Did she keep you trapped?
No. I just it's where I stayed, and I did see some people around, and I would go. I think. Listen.
Let's ask some direct questions.
My
Have you ever visited the Unseelie Court?
Oh God, that's yes.
Yes.
Inside check.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have. Just kind of going, and I've seen the outside. You know, I have aunties that work there. You know,
And your grandma was guarding a sacred place that you've seen or been to, or
our house.
was it this?
Was your house
this
this
Heartfane place?
It's a home.
Did your home have legs?
Chicken legs.
No, but there's. I mean, it's our home. It's a home. Our house is a home.
Yeah, okay, so
You
it's
know,
not Baba Yaga.
there's nothing. I don't feel like there's anything strange or different about it. It's just, it was grandmother's house.
Who walked around, on 2 chicken legs.
Yeah, that's normal. She's very powerful. She's really strong.
We gather.
And she's always taking care of me. And
Was she very much like?
No, don't leave. Don't go beyond these boundaries. If I catch you leaving, you're gonna get a spanking.
well, no, she was very protective. Wanted to make sure that I was safe.
Does she fuck with the Unseelie Court?
Maybe. She didn't really talk to me about it.
Do you think she might be working for the bad guys?
She made that gym. The green
That's
lens.
true.
I don't think.
I think you said Jim.
I don't think so.
She made that
When the
jam.
Unseelie Court was coming for you, when the Unseelie Court was coming for your parents, they left you with Maury because it was one of the places the Unseelie Court was likely not to go or look.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't feel like she's working with them. I think.
She might be more neutral than that.
Something else I'm suddenly remembering.
Subtly?
Suddenly. I'm suddenly remembering. The Nightmare King has that crown
Yeah.
that they took that your
Oh,
parents
I think you're supposed to
stole
remember something.
from the device. And now he's roaming around with it.
Yeah, he's gonna put it on. He's gonna add it to whatever booty they have out there in the Hellcatch Valley.
But that was stolen from the machine. Like, so I'm guessing they're using just like powerful artifacts of some sort, right? Am I wrong? What do you, your DM?
No. Rin's kind of leaning forward, thinking for a minute. So you were saying that this Ira Wendigoth,
Yes.
Nightmare King,
Yes.
is working with the Assembly.
Well, he's been working with everybody.
Yes,
First he was.
See, that makes more sense to me.
His
What
alliances
is
keep
he
changing.
on?
I don't know. Guess he worked on the Fey Realm project, and then he came and he was working with Odahan, and then he came and he's working with Hondir, and now he took whatever the fucking what was the name of that crown, and then ran off with it.
He's kind of dipping his toe in everything.
A little bit of everything. He's kind of
That's chaos. That might work in our favor.
Oh, you mean like he could be our inside man?
Maybe.
he seemed to
But what
he
is-
seemed to like me, you know, in particularly.
But what does he?
I
he
picked up
what does he
on- I
respond
picked
to?
up on that
Money?
too.
Why does he keep changing alliances? He just goes where the wind blows, or he wants money, or
Not
what?
money.
I think it's.
He wants.
I think it's.
He's a jester.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, he's a Chaos King.
Because he worked in the Apex War, and then he didn't have anything to do. What was more of his jam? Let me...
Okay.
So if we can get to him, maybe he'll be on our side.
Chaos.
If it
Keep in
seems
mind,
interesting.
you still need to get the crown to get the
So we
unseelie
have
do
options.
not
We can
murder
go
you.
try to make inroads into whoever's in this army in the Hellcatch, or we can take a detour and go to the Fey Realm. How much time do we have before Opportunity Solstice? Like 10 days now?
Yeah.
12 days?
It's, roughly, I'll look at the numbers again, roughly about 2 weeks.
And
Moontide Crown.
Yes.
Sorry. Sorry.
2
So
weeks.
Hellcatch could be Imogen's mom. Fey Realm could be Maury.
Fey Realm could also delay us by 2 years.
Yes.
Or it could take 2 seconds.
That is true.
That's the only problem. But yeah.
But do you think your grandmother could control that?
Yeah, Rin goes, that's not entirely wrong, not entirely right. If you have friends on that side, they can fiddle with the exit strategy.
Oh. So we could get in and get out in 3 or 4 days, maybe.
Maybe.
What if we went to the Fey Realm and tried to fuck with their... Pardon my language, I'm sorry. I don't know if plane riders swear. But if we tried to sabotage the device that they're doing up there, maybe we wouldn't even need to succeed. We could just try to mess with it and lure someone. Like if they send out a distress call or something, maybe they'd send up some folks from this plane to investigate, and we nab that person and be like, "Hey, you work for us now, mister," and then send them back down. I don't know. That's a thing, maybe.
I mean, I think you have to kind of look at it as Maury's super powerful, and the Unseelie Court wouldn't fuck with her or go near that place. If she is willing to help us at least disable that supporting machine in the Fey Realm, it weakens the overall structure apparatus. Mm-hmm. If that even draws attention away or buys us any time before the Apogee Solstice, then we could try your mom in this realm. But I feel like more power, and she likes you, right?
She's
You didn't
not
like
gonna-
steal her credit card when you left or
Oh my
anything.
God,
Okay.
no! She's one of my. I love her. I love her, and I know that she loves me. Whether
She would do us a favor.
I think she absolutely would. And
No
I think,
strings attached.
I'd fuck with that
There-
instead of going to where all the heat is.
I mean, I think she would help us. She's very powerful.
What if we get caught on the weird soup that is time and
Oh,
miss the
he's saying
solstice?
that Maury can help us.
For sure, Ken. It's a done deal.
Maury could help us out, right?
Possible.
Back in my rider days, yeah, no problem. I had to turn that ring in, though.
What
You know the one.
plane rider Rin? What sort of person or powers would we need to ensure that the time jumping would...
Feels like Maury.
Well, there are two main possibilities. One, being granted exit via Archfey. Or two, have an individual of significant enough power and personal life force tether to the realm to also facilitate your exit. The Fate Stitcher may be capable of such a thing.
Okay. We could ask also, can't you send messages, Imogen, to the Fate Stitcher?
Gosh, I could. It's possible it won't go through. But I can try. I don't know her personally, but...
Oh, she's the best. She's at the absolute best. But if you do message her, just ask her if she's been feeding bombers, because I don't know.
Bombers?
I have so many little babies. You guys have no idea. Just all of my friends.
Okay.
But sometimes she wouldn't feed bombers, so I'm just nervous that he might be dead.
But you are familiar.
It's fine. This is so not important compared to the whole entire world.
Okay.
Aye.
Do you want me to try?
If you want to.
I mean, I don't know.
What are we
It's
asking?
such an odd question.
Hey, if we come visit you, can you get us back here
Without fucking up
Oh
the
my
time?
gosh, you
Making
guys,
us-
if you came to my
Messing
house.
up the time.
Serious shit happening here, Fern. Serious
No,
shit.
I know. I'm just
Fucking
you don't
life-changing,
even
galaxy-eating
know how wonderful it is
monster.
there. And the food you will eat, the most amazing food that she will cook for all of us. This would be like a vacation. This
I
would
don't
be
know if
like a
that's
vacation.
accurate.
I guarantee it.
Is there something I can say to her
Insight
that
check.
she will be more inclined to respond to?
Just say, she always calls me her little bear cub.
Okay.
So just say it's your little ferny bear cub, and we need to
Come visit.
come visit, but we also need to get back in time. I don't know how you word that, but can you get
Okay.
us back in time?
Sure. Let me try to send her, man.
I don't know. Is
All right.
this-
All
Do you
right.
wanna-
I'm gonna
do
try
you
to.
need, like, a personal item of hers? Would that help the connection, or no?
No, just describe to me what she looks like exactly. And her name is Maury. Granny Maury.
Granny Maury.
Morty.
Yeah.
The Fate Stitcher.
She's very tall. Very tall. She looks like, like any old grandmother.
Great. I'm picturing
Oh,
like white hair, glasses under like a little bonnet.
Betty White, but 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Taller than that, probably.
Oh,
Taller
what?
than 8. Well, I mean, how do you think I got so tall?
You're not related to her.
Well, we don't fully know that, right?
No, we know that. Yeah. It's a fucking certainty.
I just don't believe it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to send a message to see if it works. Who knows?
With the description that she gave you.
Tall grandma.
It's a Fate Stitcher. I am familiar.
Okay.
2 dimensions away.
But it's more like B. Arthur instead of Betty White.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Maury the Fate Stinker. Maury the Fate Fate Stinker.
The old fake stinker. She
Maury,
does have some crazy toots.
Maury the Fate Stitcher might be enough. You could try it.
All that flesh.
Well, you could also hold, like, one of her postcards or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that'll help, but it might. It's not like scrying. This is like.
Well,
But
Okay, this is one of her postcards.
this is her writing.
Well, okay, I know what she writes like. I'm picturing big 8-foot hands that can write and paint.
She wears lots of fabrics, swallows and things,
but tiny feet.
large hands.
Okay.
Before we go jumping on a tear to the Feywild, which
We're not gonna go. We're just checking.
I just want to ask, do you want to stay on your mother's trail? Things are time sensitive. Do you want to let that trail go cold? I don't have the answer. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you should throw a lure towards each.
I feel like
like 15, a quarter hour left.
if my mom is working for Thule. And it makes sense now that she is. I'd rather stop something else and then go see her than risk going at them with their full strength and I don't know.
Maybe one thing at a time. Maybe we can flush your mom out.
Maybe. I do get the impression she doesn't want to be there, you know. She keeps saying run away from this. Don't pursue it, don't pursue me.
What if she's stuck?
She might be. She might be trapped there. When Thule was trying to bring me over, it was like if I gave in, she would have had me. It would have had me. It was close, you know?
There's got to be something then that she's holding all these people to stay with her, to fight.
Yeah.
In any case, though, I mean, calling Grandma is not going to affect what we do next.
No.
We're just gathering information.
Finding out, I know.
It's okay. I know I can't do it.
Finding out if she can get us back in time.
Yeah, that's it. We're just
All right.
in for information seeking.
Fernie Bear Cub.
Fernie Bear Cub Banana.
Oh my god.
Do you have a
That's so
nickname
many
that's
words.
one word?
I know.
It's hyphenated.
Just,
It's all
well,
one
I
word.
mean, she says like Bear Cub Banana really quickly, like my little Bear Cub Banana, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fernie, my little bear cub banana.
Okay.
6
No, you don't
words. It's easy.
BCB.
Probably just say one.
Okay.
It's fine. You got it. You're good at this. I'm gonna stop talking right
I'm
now.
gonna try center mace.
So we may actually hear Morgan. That's scary.
Hello, Fate Stitcher. Here with Fernie Bear Cub Banana. She wants to come visit. Desperately. On a time crunch. Can you get us back? Without the wibble wobbles.
Hyphen?
Yeah. It's the last word. There's the last word.
You know, when putting a sending spell beyond realms, it always feels a little bit like you're pushing through a thick bubble. Like there's resistance, and then it finds its way through. And then eventually, if it comes back, it kind of brings with it a bit of momentum. And when the message returns, it hits you like a gentle smack on the cheek. It goes,
Oh,
Oh God.
well, it's nice to hear you.
Oh my
There
God.
you are. Please tell my little bear banana baby to come visit. I can help. Always.
Without using 2 words.
Did you get anything?
Did you hear her?
Oh, I heard her.
Oh, she's just.
She sounds so warm.
Oh, she. Oh, I miss her so bad.
She said she wants to come help. She can. She wants you to come visit. She can help. Oh,
Right.
Oh, she is loyal. She will, if she gives you her word, she will.
felt like as she was saying it, she was like staring at me. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't see her eyes, but I could feel like she was staring.
Oh, I totally know what you're talking about. That
Yeah.
crazy eyes that she
Yeah.
does. But she does it. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it."
Okay. Well. Wow.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, that's good. That's positive. That's one avenue open. Mm-hmm. We're not doing this tonight, right?
Sounded really warm.
Really, just the warmest. In your head, you hear, "Dear God," she sounded like fucking terrifying. Really fucking scary.
That's one option.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So the others we were talking about was obviously Imogen's mom, and then also Sir Wintergoth.
You've got options at your disposal.
We also just landed in Eos. I mean, I know we're not in Eos anymore, but we just landed in Eos today, last night. Is there anything else in Eos that we needed to do, or just find these fine folks?
This is it.
Like anything else at the
Well, we
university?
needed to ask about
Oh, stupid.
I mean, I had stuff to
Oh,
ask about,
gosh.
Need to pick up Ashton.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, we gotta go back to Eos.
Thank you.
Yes.
yes, we did.
Ashton, where are they?
Oh my god, it's gonna take so much time
They're
to catch
probably
them
cleaning
up.
up at the casino. Got a system down pat.
Was there anything else we needed to do in Eos? Let me look at my to-do list. Find the Grim Verite. Abinalt Kai.
That's him.
When you
Open me up.
I look at the woman and the doctor and the
Dr.
Yep.
Baron.
Yep. I'm sorry we made you burn that scroll to get over here. I feel like we ruined your bug out spot.
Oh, it's all right. To be honest, it was worth it just to find some more compatriots here with some capabilities beyond our own. And it's nice to know that it worked, because there's always a moment where you're like, if I do this incorrectly, I'm just going to be locked in the basement and slaughtered.
Who you were hiding? Who is trying to get you? Like, who are the? Do we know? Did we ask this
The
already?
guards from Vasselheim. Yeah.
No, I know, but who brought them? Who sent them?
Oh, yeah, he was
Who's hunting you?
Vasselheim,
Just Vasselheim.
specifically the High Bearer, and
The High Bearer.
Which high bearer?
From the Plat.
Oh, did you just meta remember something?
Roll D100. Roll D100.
Yep.
those are the highest order, the Platinum Sanctuary, as well as the Quadroads, specifically were interested in recovering what we had taken.
Vasselheim is the birthplace of organized religion.
But you didn't take it from Vasselheim, you took it from Eos, right?
No, they took it.
Oh, you took it from
From
Vasselheim.
Vasselheim.
We took it from Vasselheim, and they've been chasing us ever since.
They want their books back.
And they want us, and anyone else who knows about it, probably also forgotten.
Well, the reason I ask is, if we go back, we're not gonna back into your house, right? Because I think that's probably. I set off a lot of traps. It was very well protected. Good job. Didn't hurt me that much, so demerits for that. But we also did see some of those judicators walking around.
The judicators, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
kept
saw us.
their attention.
So in case they were clocking us or following us around, your house might be unavailable to you.
That is good to know and very true. Rin, do you mind if we stay here for a bit? Rin goes, of course. I mean, it's a bit stuffy at times for folks not used to the temperature. But, yes, I've got a couple of guest beds in the back. I'll throw something together for you.
A lot of the furniture is burned, especially in that corner.
You use the restroom, just the river?
Oh, no, I have an outhouse outside. Just
Oh!
make sure you don't draw any attention from any of the various, fire drakes that hunt in this vicinity.
Drakes?
Could Niles, walk people out to the bathroom if they...
Yeah, Niles is great. Niles, would you walk him out? Niles just goes... like, see?
Yeah,
He's a doll.
when I heard drinks, I was like,
No, but in all seriousness, and I know I can come off at flippant at times, but this is... There's a lot of terrible things coming to Exandria in the next few weeks. Not just this, not just we're dealing with. This is a historical challenge worldwide for many different interests, good, bad, and in between. And while I've tried to keep an eye on a few, this seems to be at least my lot to focus on this round. So, it's brought us together. We'll see who else we can bring together as well to help. But this is dangerous. This is... It is likely some of us won't make it through. Kind of looking over at the doctor and professor, looking across your droop here.
Just know that where we step, sacrifices will happen. And we have to keep our eyes on the prize. Anyway. So,
I know.
it's pep talk. I get pep talks.
What are we doing?
Are we?
Back to Eos or?
Back to EOS. Whereabouts?
Oh, we're not staying here overnight or anything?
Oh, I mean, I suppose we could.
No,
Just to.
It's hot. I mean,
Well, I mean, what if Ashton comes looking for us and...
There's no time drift between here and home?
No.
Well, I mean, I think Ashton, would they say they were running off to do a quick thing? I don't think we want to stay here 8 hours.
okay.
All right.
Is the place you would send us back the basement or anywhere?
I can send you to the basement, but you seem to be disinterested in that possibility. I can send you to just the outskirts of the city. I could send you to one of the bridges. I mean...
I think the basement's okay for us.
Well, can you get us close to the Lake Cap Skyport Lounge Casino Tavern Inn and Circus?
Basement suffices quite well.
Yep.
Let's do the basement.
Well, there was circus
No.
performance.
All right. Well, it's been an odd pleasure. I'm sure we'll cross paths again very soon. If anything odd comes up, I'll reach out to one of you, I suppose. And if anything odd comes up on your end, you seem to have the capability to reach out to me as well.
Yeah.
Well, bells, elves. Let's make things weird. As they go ahead and like carve this circle space in the air, you watch as the center, this like one slab of somewhat smoothed over kind of porous volcanic rock begins to glow as a circle appears in the space.
You kind of do. I'm fun, scary.
Oh, that's
She. Time's ticking.
Yeah, let's go.
You all step back into the chamber, returning back to the basement from where you had previously absconded to this odd pocket plane.
Nothing comes there.
You'll,
Lights as soon as we come through.
you light the darkened space beneath the subterranean basement.
See anyone?
Run out the basement, run up the stairs, and just check, make sure nobody's in the house.
Okay. You run out of the basement, run up the stairs. Just as you're halfway up the stairs, you hear
Oh, shit.
a heavy breaking and splintering of wood.
Oh,
Can I shut the false wall to the stairs?
You close it back down?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not down there. That's right.
We're trapped. They're gonna find us. We're trapped.
That's okay.
What the fuck are we gonna do?
Yeah, cliffhanger time. Yeah, no kidding.
Painting is in the sink.
This is unnatural.
You hear an odd voice, one you've never heard before, go.
And you're sure you heard them here? Smell them. Then find them.
And that's where we'll end today.
We're being hunted in a basement. They're gonna smell us like we smell them.
Why did we come back here?
They're down there.
Feeling a werewolf?
Why did we not go to the outskirts?
Oh, man.
I don't. Do I smell?
Do you smell?
You said earlier
you
you
smell
didn't.
like oil.
No, I know I cannot smell.
Oh.
What do I smell
You
like?
said you
like
heard them in
oil
here.
and-
Smell them, then
Yeah.
find them.
Captain, there's a Mo Digliani in the kitchen sink.
Oh, boy. I have to wait a year to find out what happened?
An entire year. We'll pick up from that wild series of informational reveals
Sa.
and this little basement kill box here in 2023.
Oh
Go
my
ball.
god.
man, I'm mad.
Oh man.
They are pinned.
Alrighty. Well,
Fuck.
miss you, Tal. We'll see you.
This is
Let me get you back.
The longest catch-up phone call.
I know it really is.
It's a lot of info.
Oh god, the
but-
amount of lore.
Thank you for joining us.
Take on you, Tal.
Happy holidays. We love you very much, and is it Thursday?
Oh!
See you in 2023!
And thank you for joining me for this year finale of Critical Role. So much lore. We now know the name of the gods and their fate. We are starting on. I feel like we're closing in on the actual purpose of the Paragon's Call and. So much lore. And an actual plan of attack is starting to come into fruition. Well, we'll have to see next year. This is Friener Urienmentra, Elven YouTuber, and I wish thee good fortune on the quest of life.